All right, we're talking about making health a lifestyle. A topic that's really important to both of us because we used to be yo-yo girls. You agree with that, Shelby? You were a yo-yo girl, like, in it sometimes, out of it sometimes. So, Shelby, I'm curious, at what point in this journey were you like, okay, I think that I'm no longer a yo-yo girl and this is just my lifestyle?
Honestly, I would say within my first like program of like signing up. I know that sounds like really soon, but when I look, I don't know if I knew it then, but I was just like, because I also just not even 2 weeks in, I decided to coach. And so that's partially why too, because I was like, this is my job now. So, but yeah, I would say that soon because I also knew that I wouldn't get bored with
That makes sense. And you've been
Beachbody.
3 years strong now. So you were right, which is really cool. For me, mine was pretty soon too, actually. I remember I started in June. And I was a volleyball coach at the time, like teacher and volleyball coach. And I remember whenever I made it through volleyball season and I didn't stop working out, I was like, okay, something's different with me. Like I didn't use the excuse that I was too busy. No matter what, I can remember getting home at like 10 p.m. and being like, no, like I committed to this and I feel best when I do this. So I'm going to do it. So I really think for me, making it through that was huge. And then making it through the whole winter, not quitting, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm a new person. This is really different for me.
Yeah. And I will say when I found like figured out to be mindset and made it like applicable like to my life and got in that rhythm, I was like, I'm gonna follow this the rest of my life. Like not saying I eat the same thing every single day, but like I'm gonna how I approach food and my meals. Yeah.
Yeah. We were just chatting before this too, that the video about discipline and grace, where we were talking about the importance of both of those things, really comes into play with making it a lifestyle because you like in order to do this forever, like I'm not joking when I say forever. Like when I'm 80, I'm not just gonna stop because I want to live the fullest, best life possible. But we're going to all have to learn to like stay disciplined, but give ourselves grace because seasons of life are so like up and down. You've got to be able to make it work in every season of life. So,
Mhm.
um,
Yeah. And I would say a couple of ways to actually tangibly do that is one, my like when I think of when like the switches that have helped me or things I've done is viewing my health as like a long-term thing. Like I am here for the long haul, so why does it matter where or really what exactly I look like right now? Or yes, we want to feel our best, but also knowing that like there's going to be times that I like am figuring out what's better for my body on what like how I when I eat something if I feel more bloated or like whatever it is, but just having that mindset of being in it for the long haul and having like a reminder somewhere that like why I am even working on my health and prioritizing it because seeing that whether it's where you work out or like seeing it on my phone like I mentioned before like having a reminder pop up like why it matters and why I'm deciding to do a workout when I don't feel like it why I'm deciding to make veggies and chicken or like whatever, making my meal fun instead of just like going through the drive-through somewhere because it's easier and because I don't feel like cooking. Um, so those are a couple things that I've done and to help me like tangibly like shift that healthy lifestyle mindset.
yeah, I think one thing you said about like having a reason why, I think that is the most, like, that's the single most important thing in deciding that you're not quitting ever. Like, you're going to do this until you are no longer here on earth because for me, my sole why used to be because I wanted to look good in a bikini and be as small as I could be for real. And I'm not gonna lie to you that this could be a whole different video for me, but I still struggle with that sometimes. But I know my way out now, and I didn't used to. So my why now is because I want to live a life where I have energy and excitement and can serve the way that God calls me to. And in general, I just want to feel good. Like I want to feel good as often as I can. And that includes making movement and nutritious food part of my whole entire life, not just 3 weeks of my life. Like that's not going to change anything when it comes down to it, besides those 3 weeks. We have to keep going. So some of my like tangible things to making this last for me and like making it a real lifestyle. The first one is on my really hard days and even just like random days sometimes too, I listen to worship music while I work out. And just so you know, it doesn't have to be like slow, somber music. Like there's fun worship music. And depending on my mood or what I'm struggling with, it's going to depend on what kind of worship music I turn on. Sometimes I work out to Maverick City music. And if you hear me working out to Maverick City music, you know that I cried about my body that day. But it helps me so much to just focus and remember why I'm doing this in the first place and who gave me the body to move. The second thing for me is doing it with people. The second I have to do this by myself, I will give up. And that's just me knowing myself. And I think especially as women, a lot of us are like, we share in that desire to do it with people. So we hope that you'll stay engaged with us in our groups because it really helps a lot. And then the third thing for me is it really has to be fun. And I feel like our groups bring that, and coaching brings that for me. The fact that I get to make money doing this, it keeps it fun for me. The fact that we have so many programs, like from dancing to boxing to weightlifting, like there's always something fun and new. So those are a couple of my tips for making it a lifestyle.
Yeah, I love that, especially the listening to worship music while you work out.
Yeah, speaking of that, I think Shelby at some point, if you don't hear about this, let us know. But there should be a playlist coming soon that you can use to listen to worship music while you work out. And you might think that sounds really weird. I did at first, but man, I love it so much.
It's a game changer being covered in that truth.
It really is. So we're hopeful, you guys, that if this is your very first program, if this is your very first month, if today was your very first workout, that you are inspired to keep going because it matters a lot to make this a lifestyle.